basically.
Cool.
So,
I just checked monitoring, and we're using 80% of memory, so that's why I want to do it regardless.
okay. And does that go back far? Is it like back for a month, or is it like in a day? It looks like 80%, or
That's only for the 2 last days.
okay. Yeah, I mean, if it's not super expensive, then I guess there's no harm. But otherwise, I think I would be okay to just wait a little bit and see if we solve the problems. But yeah, your call, I guess.
It's not crazy expensive. We're running on a $5 droplet now, and we'll then run on a $10 droplet.
Okay, cool. Well, all right then. Let's do that. Yeah. Okay, so hello everybody. I've been a bit quiet this week. I haven't been feeling well, as you know, and I'm feeling a lot better, but I'm still not feeling awesome. So I'm not super energetic, I would say. Generally speaking, staging is ready to test again. Essentially, like there was a few issues that Lauren found that prevented testing. One of them was this null value when adding a project. Like that was the main blocker. That is now resolved, I would say. And yeah, so we should test staging and try and get that live as was planned last week. Essentially, we got kind of smacked around, as most of you know, by some super crazy staging madness that like was hard to figure out, I guess. But yeah, the server was getting like knocked over by presumably images being put in the database that, you know, could potentially have been very big, I guess. So that was causing a memory error. And yeah, it seems everything is all hunky-dory again now. So we're working around that right now, like Matteo and I. Essentially, he's doing things with a different front end, and I'm building an endpoint on the back end to receive the image in a different way, or to pull the image out in a different way, basically. So yeah, I mean, I think that like we could still test staging anyway, and hopefully this is the only issue, and try to get staging live as fast as possible. And that's all I really know about. Like that's kind of all that's on my agenda. Like I have one open issue right now. Sorry, I just realized I'm not showing my screen. Anyway, I have one open issue that I found while trying to figure out one of the bugs in staging, and that's around the fact that if there's a project that has got the same slug name as an existing project, there's a problem. So I'm working on this right now. And otherwise, I'm working on the endpoint to resolve this rich text editor image upload thing with the intention of getting staging live. So that is my update. That's all I know. And yeah, Matteo, I guess you know more.
Yeah. Following that issue of the rich text, I couldn't be able to replicate it as such, but if we deleted all of the rich text or the big ones and solved the issue, I think that was it. So I'm assuming that if we migrate that functionality of the images also in the Gatsby version, that would be ready to test. So all of the changes that I've been making are also on the next JS version. So I think that I can do the changes in both of the environments, but I don't know if that's like the best, or I don't know. Maybe I can change just that little part and keep working on the next JS, so we can get out with the functionality of the rich text to life as soon as possible. But I would encourage also the testing, if we have the time, Lauren, Mitch, that you both are the main testers right now, to do it as well in the next JS version. Uh, I think I have spent most of these days trying and solve many edge cases, legal details that I could have missed while doing the migration, and I feel pretty confident that some of them can be solved and are already solved quite quickly. So Uh, no, I don't want this to be my decision, but maybe we could force the migration to happen a little bit faster even, because
Maybe we could what? Sorry.
uh, but we could push a little bit more the update using the Next.js repo instead of fixing the little things that are broken right now in the stage. So as we are noticing that only the rich text functionality is the one that is not working properly so far. So
Only the what? So I'm having a hard time hearing you properly. I'm sorry. Only the what is?
can you listen to me better?
I can
Now?
hear you most of the time. Like I don't know if it's just me, but I find your microphone very soft, and it's hard to make out what you're saying. Basically, I have you
How
quite
about
loud.
now? Is it better?
Yeah, yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Let's see.
Okay.
I have to see. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that is the headphones. I don't know. I will try it here. But I was saying that it's only the rich text functionality that was broken in the staging version of Gatsby. So if that was only it, I guess that we could push the testing on Next this week also, because there are also many other issues that were solved there and could actually improve the live version. Because I have made a lot of testing these latest days, and I find it that it's quite alright to do so. So after you give me the endpoint to push the images, I will upload and get ready both environments, but I would give also priority to the next version if you all agree. I don't know what if you could hear me properly also.
I can hear you. Yeah. If I understand correctly, like you're talking about giving priority to the next JS version and pushing that faster, test it more, get it live faster, basically. If I understand you correctly, yeah, is that right?
Yeah, but based on the fact that the testing in staying of the Gatsby version is only lacking this issue with the text, with the rich text functionality, because everything else is seemingly working fine as much as I know.
But how do you know that? Have we tested staging? Like my impression is really that it's not tested at all. Because I know that Lauren tried to test it and that it broke immediately and she couldn't add a project, and I can only assume that like it would be very demotivating to try and push forward. I mean, like to be clear, like I would love to just focus on the Next.js app and get that thing live. Like honestly, I hate the state that we're in with 2 active branches right now. And that's why I'm saying like that's why I'm saying like let's get staging out the damn way, right? Like just so because and I'm totally happy to just focus on the Next.js app. But first of all, like that wasn't the plan. It wasn't what we agreed last week. And Lauren already was unhappy about that. And in fact, we already have articles that have been published talking about the rich text editor, which is still still not live, you know? So I like it's not like I don't mind either way, but it's not up to me, right? Like I'm not fighting for my cause here. Like I'm just like if we all agree together, like let's just like do it the Next.js way, then we can do it that way, right? But like I don't think it's fair for us to make a call like that, especially based on everything else. I don't want to make that call anyway, for sure. So what do you guys think about that? Lauren, I'd be interested to know what you think. Other people, I mean, the rest of you.
Looks
like don't ask us. Just do what you feel like.
Jesse's going crazy for a sec here.
I wish I had an opinion to share with you, but I saw that it wasn't working, so I didn't go in and test. And I don't have an opinion on this to share.
Yeah, I mean the most important point is like, can we just like delay the rich text editor like another week, maybe? I guess, best guess. Just focus our resources on getting Next.js, which is the future of our code base. Like focus on testing and fixing and updating all of this. Because right now we're kind of doing double maintenance, right? Like we're doing double testing and we're doing double fixing. and it's a shit situation, basically. Like, we don't want to be in the state. We want to be in the state for as short a time as possible, right? So the question is it acceptable to push rich text out a little bit longer, or not? I think that's the choice, basically.
I think it's okay. I mean, I did like include it in the article we published, but I don't think people read it that much anyway. And and I also think that, I mean, I put it as like, it's going to be coming on live soon. So it wasn't like right away. I think I might have said during the week, but also like who's keeping track. So I think if we focus our resources on getting everything working on Next.js, maybe it's just more efficient.
What's the ballpark estimate? You're saying a week of like developing, testing?
That's a pie in the sky. I mean,
Yeah,
Mateo knows more than I do. I haven't even looked at it, but like, I think it's probably okay. Like, I guess a week should be fine, I imagine.
I just need the endpoint to upload the images, and that would be ready for testing today. I just need that.
That sounds good.
I can tell you that when we deployed loading photos and videos before, it was very buggy and it took us a lot of time. And if we have a better solution that's going to do this more efficiently, then that's the approach we should be going towards. And if it means we delay, then that's what we do to get the better solution out.
Cool.
So what do you need from everybody then, Matteo, to make this happen quickest and most efficient?
I've been working in the background with games, and I just need this endpoint to make the images being uploaded to a separate URL that is different than the first way that I chose. So when that happens, I just have to iterate it, I guess, real quick, do some testing, and I can tell you guys by tonight or even early tomorrow. And that should be ready for you to test on the next Giveth.io deploy, because I also spent some time fixing other issues that were happening in there. I think that Merlin found some. Not sure if you got to solve them, man, or you want me to take a look.
Okay.
You're talking to Merlin, is it?
Yeah.
What one? Sorry, didn't.
Yeah, I noticed that you found some issues in the branch on Next.js. So did you find a solution, or you want me to check it out? I thought it was related with the category.
Yeah, what we were discussing on the Discord channel.
Yeah,
that's what you mean. Yeah, it's weird because I guess you didn't face this issue. I mean, I'm pointing my to the backend. Let me check to this serve.giveth.io GraphQL. So it's like the dev endpoint for GraphQL. It's not my local database, and when I'm querying projects, there are no categories in the project. So I tried to fix that. I mean, on the project list, I'm querying directly querying the categories just to show. I mean, in the project list, you have a filter, and so now in the filter category filter, I added the categories. So now with my fix, I have it. But because in the project, in the data related to the project, I haven't these categories, then it's not useful because I cannot filter because it's not here. I mean, all categories for project are new. And I don't know why I have that, because I've pulled from the Matteo Mig branch, so I'm up to date, at least on front end, but back end is, as I said, is a dev one. So I don't know how to fix that. Yeah.
Okay. I'm not sure.
Matteo, you're mute.
Yes. Sorry, I was saying that I saw this issue a while ago, and I think it's related with a query of the project where you have a resolver, especially pointing to the categories, and in some M's, it doesn't show up. So I just noticed, I just checked in the staging version of Next.js, and it's not working either. So I will check which query is actually fetching the categories. I think that you saw that, and that would be the solution, I think. So, did you get to choose another query for the categories, or?
Yeah, I added something to query the categories, but and also I've add something a check on the project page, because if the categories are new, I mean you cannot the project page show an error and you cannot see any projects. So it's just a little check. So I added two, but it does not solve the main issue I face. So tell me, you say that you will check quickly and
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so tell me if you find something, and then, because I wanted to add Marco created an issue. It was about creating a drop down with the project, just to directly go to the right category you want, and also in the footer to show it the categories. But as it was not working, in fact, while wanting to implement that, I faced the issue. So
about that, I was also thinking on adding a query to the route of the project. So someone could also access a project list for a particular category instantly from the route. So it's not only handled to the client. Do you know what I mean? Like slash projects
slash category
or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
That category should be, or maybe a query. But that could also help a lot, because let's say you want to share the Giveth categories of community, you go directly to the link.
Maybe it could be easier to have like in the slug like projects slash all and project slash whatever the category you want, and depending on the slug, you I don't know. But no.
I thought that it was assigned to me. Do you want to handle it, or?
We were both assigned. I just wanted to check how it was possible, but just I think the first point is to fix the issue with the categories, because if we merge in production, I don't know what will be the result.
Okay.
That's it. So you can continue.
Yeah, finalizing my updates, I think that's it. Yeah, whenever I have the image endpoint, I will update it, and will let you guys know to start testing. Also, I'll be working on some other issues that I have assigned. I want also to start research on the Tweetbox ceramic profile verification and the flagging of the project. That's what's missing for me in this sprint, and I want to handle it after all of these rich text and staging mess is solved finally. So yeah, I'll pass it to whoever wants to give out an update now.
I can. So I moved to the Giveth next repository and created some peers. So for testing, it's in pause. I mean, there's an issue, and I don't know why, and it breaks all tests each time. I mean, it's not possible to do whatever testing you want. It's a weird issue. I mean, the community around Cyprus seems to have already see that this issue, but we don't know. I mean, I don't know really what causes that. It can be a module, not another package, and so I don't know.
What is the problem, Merlin?
In fact, when you run a test, it shows an error like unexpected token or error unexpected token, but there is no issue in the code. I mean, it's running fine locally, and all is fine, and just the test crashed as soon as you launch it.
So is the result that none of the Cypress tests are working, or what is what's this causing? Like, what's the bigger picture? It's for a single test that's a problem, or it's for all our tests?
No, it's for all tests. I mean,
Okay.
it's the same error for all tests.
Okay.
But I didn't change anything about testing, so it's really weird. I think I will try to find some time about that, but for now I didn't succeed in fixing that, and it was annoying. So I prefer to focus on fixing issues in the front end. And so yeah, there was some issues that I fixed about the gas price, the default token for donations. So my peer are pending. Also, I fixed a little issue. It was related to the filter about whether you donate with fiat or crypto. But for now, I think I talked about that in the Discord channel, and it's because we don't have, for now, the donation type in the backend, in the database.
On dev, or?
On dev, at least on dev. I don't know in production.
Okay.
And so we were trying to, in fact, when we did the filtering, we were checking the donation type, and if donation type was not crypto, then it was fiat. But in fact, the check failed because there were no donation type. So that was causing this error. So
were you running these tests against the live database?
Yeah, the dev serve the URL is serve.giveth.io/GraphQL.
Okay, so that's staging, and I'm surprised that we don't have them in the database. The donation type, but I can check that after this call. Or I'll check. Let's continue.
Okay. Tell me, and I will double check. And so that's it. And also, I fixed an issue. It was when you were on your account page, a text is squished, and I think that's Mitch that raised the issue. And now I'm not. So we will see. And also, I wanted to say, are we planning to move the issues from one repo to the other one, because when creating a PR, I'm like copy pasting the issue, but I can't assign an issue to a PR. Not sure if it's clear or not, but
I know what you mean. I think there's a way to reference an issue on another repository. Like if you copy the Giveth / Giveth 2 or whatever, but like your question is valid, I guess. What did we agree about this? Kai was going to make a call on this or something.
okay.
Do you remember, guys, what the outcome was about moving issues to the new repo? Or
Okay.
we will at some point. Yeah, I mean, let's ask Kai in the chat now.
And also, I know that I have some changes that I made on that are on the develop branch, but on Giveth 2, and that are not now in the Giveth next. So, what's the best? Should I just check the changes I made on the previous version, and I like in sort of copy paste what I made in the new repository, Giveth next?
If you can do that very easily, that might be the easiest way, right?
Yeah, okay, I get it. And also to finish, I'm always starting from the Matteo Mig branch, and I just wanted to know if it's the right way to do that, or if I need to change how I'm doing that, if there is a develop or a staging branch in the Giveth next, and that I should use instead. I don't know.
In my opinion, we should have the same three environments: develop, staging, and main. We can do it right now because I think they are not actually there right at the moment. So we could follow the same process. Like once they three are in sync, we start making pull requests to develop, staging, and then main. Uh, so far, my branch is the only one that is pointing to the deploy that I made in Excel. So when he's available, we can ask him to make one for each and have the same flow we currently have in Gatsby.
Okay, so for now, I continue to start from the Matteo Mig,
Yeah.
and I create my peer, and they point to Matteo Mig. But once we have the develop and staging branch up to date, and I change. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, because it's better right now like that because the version deploy is pointing to the Matteo Mig branch. So yeah, so far like that.
Okay, so just keep me up to date and tell me if when I will need to change the starting branch. Okay, that's it for me and all my questions. Sorry.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
I had some questions actually about some stuff that I found while I was testing. I noticed earlier this week, Lauren got a support ticket from Joni, and something about making an account with a Taurus wallet and a project and not being able to access the donations they receive on XDAI. And I had noticed when we're using Taurus wallet on live, it always points to mainnet. And how do we get it to point to XDAI?
There is this initialization of Taurus every time that you go in the app, and we choose there where do we need to make that happen. It's mainnet or XDAI, for example, or ropes, etc. So I think in the sense of a better UX, I guess that we could ask the user or make it automatically to happen on XDive, but I don't believe that that's the best solution. So if you go to login with Torus, we ask instantly, do you wanna log in to the XDive or the mainnet network? And that should be it, if I correctly, yeah, if I remember how the implementation is right now. I think that's it, no, James? We just have to say connect to mainnet or XDive, and that will change implementation of Torus, no?
I made an issue for this, number 840.
Yeah, it's like there's no easy answer to that. I think because it's kind of like how do we know if we want to create, if we want to hook them up to XDive or if we want to hook them up to mainnet, right? Like they need to tell us somehow, as we do with MetaMask.
I mean,
right?
There should be a toggle somewhere, because right now they're only getting hooked up to Live and they're receiving donations in XDive.
The thing is that as Torus is a complete external service, they can also choose what network to connect using the Torus dashboard, and that's not like our problem somehow, but we should also make their life easier somehow. So I would say that that toggle makes sense, but if we do it, we would have to log them off and log them in again to change that thing only to see the amount of the money. And so, no.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like if the user can change it themselves, like in their Taurus wallets, that they can connect to a different network, then that's their business. And I think like if we're gonna really like babysit people and make the user experience something practical and useful and better, then we need it to be a part of a bigger plan. You know what I mean? Like we can't just like patch stuff on and bolt things on. Like in my mind, like we could greatly increase the usability for, my parents to use Giveth, for example, but it would take a lot of changes, like as to how we're doing things right now. So my feeling is that like we're gonna fall between the gaps if we don't like take either of those paths, right? And I think right now it feels like, as we've done with MetaMask, that like we rely on the user to be able to sort that out themselves, essentially. That's my opinion on it, I guess. But yeah, I mean, it would be great if we had like,
we could also make a part of the QA or communications part where you can make a post. You cannot see your XDive donations? Try checking them on the dashboard with Torus, and we can do a little bit step by step. That's like a little bit of babysitting, but in the practical way, not without having to change the whole UX on the application. I think that's faster, maybe. What do you think?
We'll see. I mean, it definitely defeats the purpose of using Taurus. It almost makes it more complicated.
What do you mean? Like, what is the problem, David? Like, let's think.
The thing is like if you are on Taurus and you want to make a donation using the XDive network, or you want to see it on Giveth, there's no actual way to toggle how your Taurus wallet is connecting to Giveth on which network.
Yeah. So in terms of donations you've made, like we don't care which one they're connected to. Like we can pull their donations from XDive and or wherever. So it's more about like receiving or making donations, right? Or does that make sense? Am I talking marbles? But you slip on.
No, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we're boasting about having, XDive network functionality, but then this Taurus wallet, which is supposed to be great, you can't actually go on Giveth and connect on XDive with it. You have to go into your settings in Taurus. You have to change it to XDive network, and then you can see it there, but it's not actually connecting to Giveth with that XDive network.
I mean, that's kind of like, that's part of it though, right? Because I would argue that most people who know what XDive is are not using Taurus. I mean, Like, I could be wrong, but that's my feeling. And that's because like XDAI is for the hardcore, right? And like, you know, we can really make an experience that like uses Taurus, that uses email, that puts them on XDAI, and they'll never even need to know about crypto, right? Like, but like that's a whole experience to be built. Do you know what I mean? Somehow, and that for me, that connects like with the fiat on ramping, and it connects with the language that we use in terms of how we talk about what we're doing, and all this kind of stuff, right? It's part of a bigger kind of like piece of work that I see would need to be, that should eventually be done, but that we're not doing right now. But that it's not, you know. So essentially, what I'm arguing is, and I'm playing devil's advocate also. What I'm arguing is that like the amount of effort that it would take us to connect the Taurus wallet to XDAI is not really going to give the people that we want to give something. There's not enough of them, first of all, and it's not giving them enough. It's about it's a half-assed job. I don't know. That's some nonsense that I'm saying. I don't know.
So anyway, with this, we're realizing that there's a gap there, because what happened in Lauren's case there, she was getting donations on XDAI and she couldn't see it, or she was, there was a miscommunication there, if I understood.
So someone donated to you, Lauren. So basically you created your project using your Taurus wallet, and people donated XDAI to you and you didn't get it, or you didn't see it.
No,
it wasn't her.
It was a lady who had created a project and submitted her projects with the Giveth for Change thing, and she was like, "Somebody donated for me, but I don't have the funds." And I was like, "Well, what wallet did you use? Did you check your wallet, and did you check on XDAI network?" And it just seemed like she didn't really understand that, okay, she had a Taurus wallet, and then she could look at her Taurus wallet in Taurus, and she could like switch to the XDAI network, and then the donations would be in there. But yeah, I don't know. And then she had another couple of other issues too. I don't even know if she understood in the end how to find her funds.
Okay, so let's just to be clear then. So the problem is that like someone creates a wallet, like they create an account with Taurus, they receive donations on XDAI, and they're unable to see their donations. Like that's the problem we found so far. Okay, yeah. I mean that's something we can address like quite easily, I would say, right?
Yeah, maybe that's a communications issue, or that's something we can solve on the developer side.
It could be a bug. I mean, not a bug, but it's like it could be that we're missing this or not, or what.
But it's also a little bit to be more clear. Didn't she see it in our dashboard? Because if she knew that there was a donation, she must have seen it in the project dashboard, and she wanted to check on the wallet. So I think that she was confused on the mainnet difference between mainnet XDAI network in the Taurus wallet.
Yeah,
So
I'm pretty sure that's what happened, because she was like, I have 0.03 ETH and I don't see it. And then it turned out it was an XDAI. And
damn.
She's like, oh my God, I'm rich. Well.
Yeah, I don't know what we can do about that. I mean, of course, we can have some kind of info thing on the listing, like where you hover and say, like, you know. Yeah.
Well, anyway, I made an issue maybe to start the discussion, and if we think of anything, it's there. Moving on, there was one other thing I made an issue for, and it was on the impact graph that I had talked about last week. The internal server error when I'm trying to query a user's projects. I don't know if James knows any more about that. I think you're out of commission when I hit that error.
What is the, okay, is it on staging? Is it on
It's
live?
on mainnet when this is happening.
Okay, if you send me the query, I can have a look at it. So basically you're trying to get the projects for a user, is it?
Yeah, I want to see which projects that user owns.
Okay. It's possible this query is not implemented or otherwise. But
it's on the schema, so I'll send you the GitHub issue anyway.
Yeah, it's quite, because the thing is, like, we can have things on the schema that are not being used by the DApp, and if they're not used by the DApp and they're broken, then they're not working, right? So like, we can fix it or add it, right? But that could be it, or else it could be a bug. But if you send me the query, I can check.
Okay. Yeah, the use case for this is that I'm trying to find out who owns what and update our contact list. And so I'm hitting a wall there.
So you want to send in like a wallet address or something, or a user ID?
I want to send a user ID and see which projects they own.
Okay. Cool.
I'll send it
Well,
to
let's make it happen.
Okay, that's it for me.
Thank you. Anybody else? I think Marco's the only one who hasn't said anything at all this whole call. No. He looks so fucking good though. He doesn't need to say anything, actually. Exactly. Nice.
I have one question about the design. Marco, you you sent a link. Yes, I think it's yesterday, and so it's really cool. But I didn't understand some pages. I mean, the last time it was maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. You showed us a Figma with plenty of tests and wireframes, and then yesterday you sent us like a slide deck, or I don't know, and but there are some images I didn't know what were they were supposed to show. I mean, if you can clarify.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's really cool, but there are some that are just empty, and I'm not sure if I'm.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry for the confusion. It was just maybe those are like it's in the process of making, and then some of the pages may be empty, or some of the things may be all over the place. What I shared like 2 weeks ago or a week ago, I don't know, was something like the exploration, where I was like exploring some of the styles and directions and visuals where we want to go, and it was like just getting early feedback and response from you guys. And then what I sent yesterday or the day before is that I started working on the brand book, actually, where I'm starting to apply those styles, the visual direction of the new Giveth brand. So I just shared you like the early couple of slides of that brand book, and now I'm working on the rest of it, which will include the typography, the colors, all the logo variations, all that kind of stuff. So basically, it's going to be at the end, it's going to be like a brand book that is going to be like in PDF form, or you can put it in a presentation deck or whatever. And that should be some sort of like a standard for anyone who wants to look at a Giveth brand, in addition to our wiki, where we will be talking about a brand as well. So that's what I'm currently working on, and I think I could made it clear now. Yeah,
the graphic charts and
yeah. So that's it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because I was not sure, so thanks.
Yeah, thank you for asking. No worries. So I'm gonna go back to Figma, guys. See you.
Yeah, I'm gonna go build this endpoint. I guess we're done, are we?
All right. Wrap it up.
I'm gonna go meet with you, Lauren, right?
You're so lucky, both of you. All right.
Big hugs, everyone.
Bye.
There you go.
Bye.
Bye.
See you.